Tonight, on this 4th of July edition of the Tang Clan, we talk about Whyte carbon and just how special they are. Good evening, everybody, and happy 4th of July. I want to thank those of you who are going to watch this video later on. And I also want to thank everybody who has watched the number 3 Level 2 Billiards live show with me and Jay. And I want to thank you guys for all the input and positive vibes from those shows also. Whyte carbon, let's talk about them. I feel like I've been dropping little inklings of Whyte carbon in a handful of shows that I've done so far. But I've never really went in depth in them. And I didn't really think it was possible to go in depth and realize the power of this shaft until just recently. So I was waiting on a specific cue. I talk about it all the time. The Viking Paul Drexler collaboration. They are releasing four cues, 4 elements cues: fire, water, air, earth. We're waiting on the second one now, the water cue. And I had reached out to Cyberts for them to let me know when these cues got in so that I may purchase one. I finally got the call that I was waiting for and that the cues were in. And at the same exact time, it was like Predator dropped that Gold Racer, that anniversary, 30th anniversary P3. I was like, man, I used to be a P3 guy. I really liked the way the cue looked. I thought it looked awesome. And at the same time, I kind of found out that the Paul Drexler cue I was waiting on, that I had bought last year for under $2,000, is now up at over $2,500. And it seems like that's been the case with a few of their products recently. There's been an increase of price. Look, I'm no dummy. I know what's going on in the world today. I know prices are going up, things are costing more. But it just kind of hit me wrong because I keep an eye on these things, and Predator gear has generally stayed the same over the course of the last decade, while this Q company and these products that I'm enjoying currently, they seem to be climbing. Whether that's through popularity or growing costs, or maybe they're paying for the new sponsored player that they have. Whatever it is, it just kind of rubbed me to the tune of, look, I already have one of these cues. Maybe I'll just grab the P3. It's only $1,500. The one I'm waiting on is $2,500. I might as well, save $1,000, and I'll have both of these cues. So I placed the order for the Predator P3, and I don't know if it was coincidence or fate or whatnot, but in the 2 days from when I ordered to when I received the cue, I played a friend of mine who plays with Predator cues. So we're warming up, and I grab his cue, and I hit a few balls with his cue, and he had the Revo shaft on there, and I absolutely hated it. It just brought back like an old feeling of why I got rid of that stuff to begin with. It's that Revo shaft. It has that dull thud and the vibration in the shaft, and playing with my Whyte carbon for, I don't know, 9 months at this point. It was just, I panicked, man. I was like, man, I can't do this no more. It's got to be either Whyte carbon for me, Whyte carbon and Viking for me, or nothing. So I panicked, and as fast as that cue came in, it was headed right back out. As soon as it came in, I got a return label for it, and I sent it right back out for a return. Bottom line, I love my Whyte carbon. I think it's the best hitting carbon fiber shaft out there on the market. And that's something I will take a blindfold Pepsi Challenge taste test with. If I handed you a Revo and a Whyte carbon shaft, and blindfolded you and asked you to hit with both, I think you would choose the Whyte carbon every single time. And I say that against Synergy. I say that against Mayuchi Pro, Mez, McDermott, anything on down the line. I think that Whyte carbon has currently cornered the market on their shafts. And it's not just the way they hit. It's also the universal joint feature that they have, which what we're going to talk about today. I had a high-end Viking cue already that I was going to sell, to pay for the Paul Drexler cue with. Viking kind of has these guest cue maker collaborations that they do. Before Paul Drexler, they teamed up with Anthony Squadroni, I believe his name is, and they created the two feather cues, which was like an Indian theme. So I bought one of the two feathers cues. It's the Anasazi cue, and the thing is absolutely stunning. It was like $2,000. It's absolutely stunning. It has like 100 inlays in it, turquoise, abalone, all types of stuff. Anyway, I had this cue, and it had a Viking quick release pin. The Paul Drexler cue I had a radial joint. I had two white carbon shafts in anticipation of having two Paul Drexler cues with the radial joint. I kind of made up my mind that I was going to keep the high end Viking cue, the two feather cue. Do I buy another shaft or can I change this thing over? So that's where I really dove in and found out all about these universal pins. I shot some footage on my GoPro, showing the process of changing the joints out and just how easy it is. We're going to go to that in a second, but it's to me it's a lifesaver. I used to have Predator shafts coming out of my ears. I had so many of them. I had a whole bag filled with them, and this is something that's really can not only save you money, but it can limit space in your bag. It's these universal joints to where you're not going out there and buying shaft after shaft. You just buy these little adapters for whichever pins that you have in your cue, and I don't know, man. It's saving money, and it seems like it's making life so much easier. All right, guys. I just wanted to apply the visual to what I was talking about in the first part of the video. So a lot of things have increased these past few years with certain regimes. Cost of food is going up. Gas has obviously gone up. Materials for building things, like wood and leathers and whatnot, has all gone up. I've talked about it quite a bit, but the Viking Paul Drexler collaboration series, the 4 cues they were coming out with, the first one, the fire cue that was originally released, was priced at $19.50. The next one that is coming out is the water cue, and that is obviously priced a whole lot more. So it kind of priced me out of wanting to purchase it a little bit. One thing I had and I never used was this Viking two feathers series cue. This is pretty much the same exact cue as this Paul Drexler collab. Viking kind of has with their high-end cues, they kind of have this collaboration series. Obviously with two feathers first, and then the Paul Drexler. So on their site, they show these in the signature cue area as their collabs. So like I said, I had this, and I just never used it because it's got 100 inlays of God knows what, rare turquoise, abalone, different woods and all that. And I just never used it. I was scared to. So I was actually going to sell it to purchase the water cue. So and with the amount of the water cue, it kind of priced me out of wanting that. But I had this, and this is no sleeper. I mean, to me, this is a hell of a lot better looking than that water cue. So I was like, yeah, I'll keep this. And I had already purchased a white carbon fiber shaft for the water cue. Obviously, the Paul Drexler cues are unilock radial, and the other Viking cue is Viking quick release. So what do we do? Do we go out and buy a new shaft? The luxury of white carbon not only being probably the best hitting carbon fiber shaft I've ever played with, it's also got these universal joints. And to me, that is so stellar because you find yourself, acquiring a few different cues over a lifetime, and you got to get different shafts for them, and you find yourself unilock shafts and radial shafts and 5/16 shafts and just a whole collection. You know, I have a shaft in here with a unilock bullet. Who the hell's seen shafts for the bullet? But you know what? With Whyte Carbon being on the cutting edge of technology of having a great shaft, they're also on the cutting edge of technology of having this universal joint. So I had this carbon fiber shaft with the radial joint that I bought in anticipation of the water cue. I would like to use it for the two feathers cue. How do we go about doing that? So this is where I made my purchase at Cyber. This is where I particularly bought this particular joint. So Whyte Carbon sells these. They have joints for every type of pin. I think they're between 60 and 70 bucks. This is what they look like. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty good. I'll try to zoom in on it the best I can. It comes with a little tool, a little star key, and it's as simple as this. And this is, I love this so much. So we're just going to put the star key in until it locks in place, and then we spin it out just like any threaded item you have. Not fully out. Okay, so here is your radial joint. Out with the old. Put in the Viking quick release. Lock that in place. Now we're just going to tighten it down. For all you non-tool compliant wizards, it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey if you're scoring at home. All right, so now we got the Viking quick release joint in place. We put it right to the quick release joint, the quick release cue. Bam. It is that simple. And for 60, 70 bucks, I didn't have to go out and buy a new $500, $600 shaft. I just bought a new joint. They send you the tool, and I'm in business. I think that's great. So hopefully a lot of people are impressed with advertisement and big budgets, and people are buying Revo and Q-Tech. And do your research. Call stores. Ask people to talk about their favorite carbon fiber shafts with you. I guarantee you're not going to see Synergy or Revo anywhere in the top 5. You know, it's Whyte Carbon. And I'm not getting any kickbacks from them. I'm not affiliating them in any way other than being a fan of the product. And I think you guys know me by now. That's I don't shill for anybody. This is just something I believe in, and I tell you all the time. If I believe in it, I use it. And here we are, plain as day. This little item, $50, $60. I'm sorry, $60, $70 item can save you hundreds. Just by having these for you know, different cues and all that. So, okay, so I just wanted to show you guys this real quick. I'm currently playing. Here's my cue with the Viking quick release pin. Here's my cue with the unilock radial. I was using the black shaft with the unilock radial and the wood grain carbon fiber shaft with the Viking quick release. So I was like, you know what? I think I'd rather have the black with the Viking quick release and then the wood grain with the Drexler Fire cue. So I'm going to switch pins on both of these shafts real quick just to show how easy it is and that it's not a big mess and complicated and everything like that. Okay, so we take out the Viking quick release, put the unilock radial in, push it in until you hear it click a little bit, and then you can start fastening it down. All right. All right. right, now we're ready to rock with that shaft. Now we're going to take okay, so now we take the Unilock radial joint out of the black raw shaft like this. Put the Viking quick release in. And just fasten. Bam. Just like that. Went from Unilock radial to Viking quick release. Just a couple minutes. A couple seconds, actually. Easy as that. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that footage, and you got to see in depth just how easy it is to change out the adapters and how they pair so easily with each other. I don't know. I mean, the hitting and the construction of the shaft is what makes the shaft great. But this feature to where you can pair it with any joint that you have, I think that's what sets the thing over the top, and then that's what makes it really special. So once again, I hope you guys seen that, and they are priced in the carbon fiber shaft market. They are kind of priced on the upper scale, $600 for a shaft. But once you get down to the meat and potatoes with it, and the quality of the shaft, and how much I myself like hitting with it, and I think you guys would notice the same. And then once again, that feature with the universal adapter and them compare with any joint, that's the true jewel of this product. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the show and found it informative, and maybe this will help you make a decision if you're having trouble deciding on a carbon fiber shaft in the future. Once again, I want to thank everybody for watching and commenting and messaging, not only for this show, but for the show I do with Jay, the Level 2 Billiards live show. We have so much fun doing that show, and I have so much fun personally doing this show. I really enjoy it all, man. So thank you guys for the feedback, and please, man, like, comment, subscribe. If you have some people that are into pool, or you guys just think I'm attractive, share it with your friends, please. The more people that get to see this, the better it is for me, and the more I can expand things and hopefully grow this channel some. Once again, I have a few Magic Racks left for my giveaway with Roy for Magic Rack. The count is dwindling down. Once again, thank you guys for that. You guys have been cool with that. I had some shipping problems, things going to Canada. I didn't know they needed a customs form if you're just shipping an envelope. Apparently they do. USPS is coming out with a new rule every day. But anyway, sorry for the delay on some of those. I hope all you guys got your racks by now. We got a few left. These things went like hotcakes, after the first week, man. It started off slow, but it really picked up, and these things started flying. So once again, thank you guys for that. I hope you enjoy those racks. I hope you enjoy this show. That's it for now. Until the next time, happy 4th of July.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.